The verb ser in Spanish means to be in English. I am, you are, he or she is, we are, you guys are, they are. And the verb ser comes from the Latin verb essere. We get words in English from that verb like essence and essential. And when you think about the essence of something, it is what makes something what it is. So the fact that the frog is an amphibian, the fact that the frog is blue, the fact that the frog is a tropical frog, that he's small, that he's cute, all those things make the frog what he is. Another way to think about using ser is if you can put an equal sign between frog and amphibian. Frog equals amphibian? Yes. Blue poison dart frog equals cute? Yes. Blue poison dart frog equals poisonous? Yes. So if you can put an equal sign between the thing you are describing and what you're describing it with, you should use ser. So our first category is identity. You have the subcategories on your green sheet, things like personality traits, physical traits, where you're from, your origin, your nationality, your profession. All of these things talk about your identity, as well as race, your gender. So the examples, he's tall and very funny. Being tall is a physical trait, funny personality. Él es alto y muy chistoso. You could have also said gracioso or cómico. She's a teacher is talking about her identity. It's talking specifically about her profession. Ella es profesora. If you're wondering why there's no una there, when you're talking about general professions, the un or the una is dropped after a form of the verb ser. So if you're saying he is a lawyer, you would not say un after ser. Él es abogado. If you're saying she is an engineer, you would not use una after ser. If you'd say he is a pastor, you would not use un after ser. You will use un or una when you're being more specific about the profession. For instance, if I would say soy profesora, I don't need the una because I'm not being specific. But if I say soy una profesora de español, I'm a Spanish teacher, I do need to include the una. Things which take place is another category, another reason for when you should use a form of ser. So telling what year it is, what season it is, what the date is, what the day is, even what time it is. All of those things are talking about things which take place. It's Friday, right? Es viernes, ¿no? Or you could also say sí, or you could say verdad. All of those work. The dance is Friday and is in the gym. The dance being on Friday and being in the gym, both of these would take the verb ser when you're translating the sentence. It's kind of confusing because when you initially look at it, you think is in the gym, that's talking about location. But when you are talking about when and where an event takes place, use ser. Events like weddings, dances, parties, graduations, all of those things would be considered events. El baile es viernes y es en el gimnasio. When speaking about who things belong to, whether you're saying, he is my dad, they're my sisters, or if you're even talking about objects, they're my keys, you will use ser. So they're my keys, understood subject, son mis llaves. And finally, when you're speaking about what things are made of, this makes sense if you go back to the Latin verb essere. What makes that thing what it is? It being a metal door, a wooden door, etc. La puerta es de metal. Literally, it's of metal. We're going to go through the conjugations of ser in a few of the tenses here. So, I am, soy. Somos, we are. Eres, you are. Sois, you guys in Spain are. Es, he or she is, it is. It can also be used with usted, and it would mean you formal are. And son, for ustedes son, you guys are throughout Latin America, and they are. Ellos son, ellas son. The imperfect tense, I used to be, I was, era, éramos, eras, erais, era, eran. Notice that the yo form and the el, ella form are the same. So to avoid confusion, people will use yo or el or ella more than they might in other situations with the verbs because they are the same. The preterite, to talk about I was, and you're seeing this as completed action. Fui, fuimos, fuiste, fuistes, fue, and fueron. It's always kind of hard to keep fui and fue in the right place to remember if it's I was, he was. I want you to think about the fact that fui ends with an I, and I was, it would be fui. Also, it might be helpful for you to see that fui is part of fuimos, fuiste is part of fuistes, and fue is part of fueron. So if you think about lining them up so they are across from each other, that might also help you remember which form goes with which subject. And the future tense, this is new for you. The future tense most often is formed by taking the infinitive, ser in this case, and then adding future endings to the infinitive. So, seré, seremos. I will be, we will be. Serás, seréis, será, serán.